voices. I have one. Sam has one. And as of now, Zavala has a second one. So the first, that was such a fucking bullshit, like...
transition.
Yeah, I'm so fucking proud of that. I should have kept my mouth shut and just rolled with it, but it lined up so well. It wasn't even intentional. As I was saying, I was like, I can use this. Anyway, now I've just ruined that perfect segue to the first item of the docket.
To our sponsor.
To our sponsor. Oh, mate, you know that for a fact we're doing it that cheesy way when we get onto that topic. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cheat Codes Art Cheating, episode 9. I am Yorkie and Sam, joined by my co-host, Dark MCR. Say hello, Sam.
Hello there, guys.
And to Sam, this isn't episode 9, as we rightly discussed prior to going live, because I said, I can't believe we're on episode 9 already, and he said, well, in fairness, mate, it's not to me, because I've only been here for 5 episodes. That's a very fair fucking point, Sam. You lazy bastard.
To which he then called me a dick.
I did call him a dick, and then made jokes about him never turning up on time. But, you know, it's because we love each other.
I was here this time, that's the main thing.
We were, and I apologise. I still sound very rough. I am still ill. Turns out, that flu that we both had in the last podcast episode, turns out for me, that wasn't the flu. That was round 3 of COVID.
I probably had it too. I just didn't brave having a test.
The tests are awful, to be fair. But yeah, so that is why anyone who was waiting for it on Spotify, Apple, that sort of stuff, you'll have noticed it didn't go on till last night. It's because I'd literally been that ill and feeling sorry for myself. I hadn't had a chance to edit it and get it uploaded. But that is up there now. So
Diddums.
But if anyone does want to go listen to that, that is now live. And the one good thing is with me being ill, my voice does sound awesome. So
It does. It really does. I feel like I've got a nicer voice this morning. I woke up a little bit deeper. Maybe my balls have finally dropped.
This is why we chose a morning podcast, because we wake up with bed voice and it's just better.
Hello there, Mandy. What fucking time is it for you?
Speaking of voices, I had a dream last night that I was auditioning to be the lead in the next Red Dead game. And it was a shit dream because I suddenly forgot everything about how to speak.
I mean, we always forget how to speak in VCs. We just lose the ability to English, so...
I know how to speak, but then again, what I speak is far from English anyways. So, he's semi-asleep right now. I'm not semi-asleep, I'm wide awake. It's just because I'm ill.
He is semi-asleep right now.
No, I'm not.
You are.
If I was semi-asleep, I wouldn't be able to do this. Look, watch Bendy Pencil. Whoa, that's so... I just hit myself in the face.
The fact that you just tried to be so, like, cool, calm and collected with it and failed on so many accounts is unreal.
But yeah, so... Voices. I have one. Sam has one. And as of now, Zavala has a second one. So the first, that was such a fucking bullshit, like...
transition.
Yeah, I'm so fucking proud of that. I should have kept my mouth shut and just rolled with it, but it lined up so well. It wasn't even intentional. As I was saying, I was like, I can use this. Anyway, now I've just ruined that perfect segue to the first item of the docket.
To our sponsor.
To our sponsor. Oh, mate, you know that for a fact we're doing it that cheesy way when we get onto that topic. Just for shits and giggles. But yes.
I can't wait.
Zavala from Destiny 2 has a new voice. Previously, it was Lance Reddick, who unfortunately passed away. I can't remember if it was early this year, late last year. It feels like a while ago now.
This year.
Yeah, it feels ages ago, but then again, I keep forgetting that we're nearly in September. Yeah, so Lance Reddick passed away. He was the previous voice of Zavala in Destiny 2.
He died on the 17th of March of this year.
That's Jesus. It
has flown by.
Where is this year gone? It's frightening to think. Like, it doesn't feel 2 minutes since Christmas, and we're nearly there again. What the fuck? But yes, back on topic. So Keith David has replaced Lance Reddick. Keith David, you will know as the voice of many of your favourite games, including
Sergeant Johnson.
I was going to say the most iconic is probably Sergeant Johnson in Halo. I fucking love that man.
So do I.
Same sort of voice profile as well, I feel. Obviously, I do feel like Keith's a bit more rugged, whereas I feel like Lance had a bit of a softer tone to his voice, but...
I mean, it makes kind of sense. I mean, this is going to be a brand new, expansion. He could have been through hell in the last one.
That is true.
He's currently suffering with, a war-based voice issue, which makes him sound ruskier.
He just went to a Mike M mosh pit the week before.
He's been smoking 80 a day, and that's why he sounds like he does. He's been so stressed with running the Vanguard. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going to my room, I'm smoking 80 a day, and here I am.
It would be beautiful, though, if in one mission it's like, Guardian.
I mean, it would be a perfect little fucking
it would Easter be beautiful
thing. Like, you just stand next to him for 45 minutes to an hour, and he just randomly comes out with, Chief! Oh, wait. Guardian.
Tell your Cortana, your ghost, that we have an issue. Dun, 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 dun. That's not the theme tune playing in the game. That's just him sat in a chair, rocking back and forth, making the noises. But yeah, so Keith David's going to be taking over the role of Commander Zavala in the upcoming expansion, The Final Shape. Is The Final Shape the final DLC? I've not followed it since I started removing the original content from the game, because I was like, fuck you, I paid money for that and you've removed it for DLC. Fuck you.
The thing is, though, I think with Destiny, every expansion has felt like it's going to be the last one. Like, you've seen certain things like ghosts dying and stuff, and you think, okay, this is the last. No, this is the last.
Cade died, didn't you, in one of them? It was literally in the trailer and everything. Spoilers? Like I said, it was in the trailer.
Dude, there's 2 points to this. One, still too soon. Cade was my G.
Oh, mine too. It's Nathan Fillion. What's not to love? But they killed him off and then brought him back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy they brought him back.
I'm not.
I am.
Because when you put someone through the pain of losing a character they love so much, just to get sales, and then a couple DLCs later you go, surprise, they're not dead. It's like, fuck you, it's a cheap shot, you money grabbing bastards. That's mine if you want it. What?
Sean, how dare you say that when Marvel did exactly the same thing with Infinity War and then Endgame? It killed off half of the fucking cast.
Well, no, but that didn't kill them off. That is different, because the snap is a reversible thing. Dying isn't.
I mean,
it's cheating.
Dying is a reversible thing.
Depends how you die.
Died and come back.
Oh, well, yeah, Sladen for one. But
yeah,
you know, it's different though. Like the snap thing is, you don't just like kill them, you remove them from the plane of existence, and they are actually all alive in one of the Infinity Stones. It goes into that in the comics and shit. But Cade straight up died.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, by the way, he's just on a campfire on a moon somewhere, because fuck it, why not? Like, why? This was supposed to be a quick fire topic, and I've let my anger take over.
But yeah, Keith David doing Zavala's voice, great. It's one of those, they could have had to kill his character off, but they haven't had to. And who better than Keith David to do the voice? It's great.
And it's going to be a nostalgia hit for anyone who loved the Halos. And like Goody said, it's Keith David working for Bungie again. Gone full circle.
Yeah.
Now, this next one is a somewhat weird one. It's kind of an older article, but the main reason we're bringing it up is because there's been an update to it this week. So back in 2019, 2020, China made it a law that children are only allowed access to online games for an hour a day.
It's child cruelty.
In the hopes to stop binge gaming. Now, one, that's stupid. Two, how the fuck do they track it? Do they just literally have like limiters on devices and stuff? How do you know if it's an adult and not a kid?
It would be, well, if it's a law that they passed or something, it would have been that because China's got their own like technological systems and stuff, it would have been that a program was automatically deployed, and when a account was set up for a child, because it would have had to have many like separate accounts for children, a limit was put on it. Unless it was something to do with not everyone, it was like you've been randomly selected or you've opted in and you've been selected to take part in this study, and from there they had some software installed to track what they were doing. They had 1 hour, and then it was kind of reports and diary journals and journal entries that were submitted from the parent to the researchers.
But the thing is, like, how
something like that.
It's not worked. That's the main thing. Is it's proven not to work. Kids are still binge gaming, and I'm sorry, but if you've ever played like fucking Overwatch nowadays, fuck off of them Chinese players getting that good on 1 hour a day. You've seen it yourself. You rage every time a Chinese kid playing Genji comes into the server because they're always a prick. Fuck off of they getting that good on 1 hour a day.
Dude, you're triggering PTSD right now.
I know. It's insane. But
the thing is,
it's such a weird thing.
The 1 hour daily limit, I can understand as being like a tester, because everyone wants to play video games for binge gaming or.
Well, I mean, video games are the only thing you can blame for binge gaming. To be fair, it's a bit like drinking is the only thing you can blame for binge drinking.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
No, I've completely lost my train of thought. You fucker.
You're welcome.
I was gonna. Next time I see you, I'm tweaking your fucking nipples.
You do it anyway. You're a fucking pervert.
Yeah, but I'm going the opposite way that I usually do.
No. Not the lefty loosies. You'll pull my nipple off.
Exactly.
My nipples are like Switzerland. Massive and white. I don't know where I was going with that. I meant to say neutral territory, but I couldn't remember the word neutral, so I thought I'd just fucking roll with it. I was thinking about Toblerones when I fucking said it.
But I think back to subject. I think the fact that they found no evidence that it's going to stop. I mean, duh. Kids have access to multiple different things, whether it be mobiles, laptops, PCs. They're going to find a way of, like, gaming. So it's pretty much just a stupid study. Let the kids game.
But the thing is, I don't know how
Actually,
they did.
Don't let them game, because then the Genjis don't show up in my Overwatch games, and then I might be able to have a good Overwatch game.
Give them a 10-minute limit.
Give them 5 minutes, they can come in and get one kill.
I mean, China's a shit place though, man. How shit is this? You have to be a single child, because if you have a sibling, the government take it off you and your family go to prison. You think, right, I live in this hellscape, biggest pollution in the planet. I'm not allowed a sibling because of overpopulation. Like, I live off prawn crackers and salt and pepper chicken. I don't know what they eat in China. I just go off what they have in a Chinese restaurant in England. It's probably very inaccurate. And it's like, you're getting feedback there, mate. You got your phone on?
I had a notification come through.
Fair. But yeah, they've got all this shit stuff, and it's like the one piece of like escapism they have to get away from the hellscape that they call home. And I'm saying this, China's probably a lovely place. I'm just going off what Piers Morgan and Trump say because I've never been to China. Their one bit of escapism is video games. It's all right. You can have an hour, and that is it. I'm like, well, I'll have an hour on this device. An hour on this device. But I love how they've gone with something like binge gaming, and then for this article, they've looked at a kid just pointing at a phone like, "Mummy, look, it's the picture." Like,
this is where he's like, well before his time, and he's
on
Mum,
Tinder.
I found this website, and it's on fucking X video or Pornhub. Mum, look, I found boobies.
Mum, what's she doing with that Pepsi can? I once found a video that was called One Woman Coke Machine. And she popped, I want to say, 3 or 4 cans of Coca-Cola out of her anus. And it was the most revolting thing I've ever watched. But I sent it to all my friends. And for a year, I was known as Coke Machine. Not because I then repeated it. I've never shoved a can of Coke up my arse. You can't prove that I have. Just don't drink the one in the bottom of the fridge.
I bet we could.
You could prove it probably quite easily. The amount of shit I've done, and then I've looked over and I've seen like my work laptop up, and even though it's off, and I'm just like, someone's watching me through my webcam. Right, so the next thing, and this is such a fucking bad one. Diablo 4. They decided they wanted a video game showcase. So their idea was to put what they called the devs playing the game. Now, the people who they got to play the game were people who have never played a video game before. They aren't gamers. They work for the games company because they are artists. They just like to draw pretty levels. They have no idea about game design. They have no idea about mechanics or actual gameplay or balancing or anything like that. But they put some devs in to do adventuring with the devs for a Diablo 4 showcase. And it, as you can imagine, it went about as well as expected, because obviously they've had all the recent patches and buffs and nerfs that people haven't been happy with. And then Diablo 4 put these 2 people out there saying, look, the devs are playing it and they like it. And it's 2 people who have no idea how the game works or anything at all. They even say they're not gamers, and they've been left to be publicly crucified by the fan base.
I don't understand why people that aren't gamers that have been asked, oh, look, go on, play the game, why that is such a bad thing. It's not like they're doing yes, it's a dev showcase, but it's showcasing the game, i.e. just showing the game off. If these people don't know how to play it, they're fucks. It's a fucking game. It's pixels on the screen, and to be fair, those are pixels that they fucking created.
Yeah.
I don't know why Diablo 4 is getting so much fucking shit. Yes, they've done patches. Yes, they've nerfed and buffed things. It's like every game. Why the fuck is there so much?
The thing I've always found is because it's a game like this, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't have PvP. People like the OP stuff. But the devs, and rightly so, they want the game to be enjoyed properly, so they need to fix the balancing to make the progression of the game make sense. Now, people don't like that, because they're like, well, I just want to be overpowered and have a power trip fantasy. So if you want that, play like fucking Skyrim and mod it so you're like a titan. I don't know. Or go play Diablo 3, because it's a fucking power fantasy in Diablo 3. Like I said, I've not played Diablo 4, so I can't comment on the balancing on that. But it feels more like they've put these 2 out there as a scapegoat to let them be publicly crucified so the actual devs can get off scot-free. It feels wrong.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, they're designers of levels or specific assets, and they don't play games. It's very wrong that they've been thrust into it, but at the end of the day, they're two devs of the game, technically, physically, playing the game and showcasing it.
But I feel like it should have been clearly notified, like, by the streamers on it. Like, these two aren't gamers; they are artists for the game, and this is their first experience with it. So we're seeing like what a fresh mind would do. Because I don't mind seeing non-gamers play games. I follow a guy on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever seen him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll try and find it. He makes his girlfriend play games. She wasn't a gamer, so he got to play like Dark Souls and stuff like that, and Shovel Knight, stuff like that. I love watching because it's nice watching someone who isn't a gamer and seeing how their mind processes it. Because it's like you and me, we pick up a game, we know normally if it's on a controller, left stick move, right stick view, A jump, that sort of stuff. It's amazing how non-gamers don't piece that together because they don't know it. Like, whereas for us, it's standard in the industry, so we've kind of picked it up.
Yeah.
And I love seeing stuff like that. But that's not what they did here. They just passed it off like these people knew what they were doing and they were just shit at the game and didn't understand the game. And then obviously everyone else has been like, well, if you don't understand your game, how do you expect us? And I get the view from people if that's how it's come across.
The thing I want to bring up is the fact that this has been put out there maybe as a scapegoat like situation. But these news reports, and this is me going on slightly wider of a tangent, these news reports are going, yeah, the devs have been roasted by the community for this showcase. How many people? Is that 2, 3 people, but they're the people with the largest voices on the internet? Are these more? Are these a couple of hundred people? Because it's not the entire it's not the entire community of Diablo 4. It's great that we've got new people that don't play games, playing games, and especially ones that they fucking worked on. But these, like, it really pisses me off because it's like a few people raise their voice louder than the rest of us.
20,000. That's how many off you are. In the grand scheme of the player base, that's not a big number. But to be one of 2 people getting 20,000 people telling you that they don't like you, that's a lot of people in terms of your mental health.
Okay, there's 326,694 active players on Diablo 4. And 20,000 of those said this is shit.
That was just 20,000 by August 13th. Shall we have a look? See if the video's still up and see sort of where we're at with it. Let's have a look.
I think it is up.
I'm just having a look now, but I can't. So much crap for Diablo 4.
Yeah, 500 and it's got 468,000 views in, and that was 2 weeks of it. Comments have been turned off for it.
I forgot the medi, didn't they? So you can't actually view the likes. Copy the URL for it if you've got it, and then there's a website that still shows you the like-dislike ratio. But that people are happy with it, and rightly so, because I feel like Blizzard at this minute in time are just making mistake after mistake after mistake. Diablo 4 it's getting a lot of backlash. Overwatch 2 is getting a lot of backlash. Like, I'm surprised. I've realized I never actually hit my going live notifications in half my fucking. I'm surprised things like World of Warcraft hasn't had some backlash somewhere. I know there's nothing to backlash over, but I'm sure someone somewhere would find something, because we know how bitchy the online community is. I'm bitchy too, but you know, I tend to bitch from like an impartial standpoint normally if I can. I'm a whore.
The biggest thing that I don't understand is we're all getting shafted. Whether it be game developers, we're getting it's players, it's whatever. we're all getting shafted right royally. Why are we?
Shafted.
I don't fucking know.
I might have just froze my.
It pisses me off the fact that we're going through all of this.
It's always going to be the case.
Gaming has become such a toxic fucking thing, and the thing is, it's the people that scream the loudest get heard the most, and then everyone else has that knock-on effect. Now, everyone that I've heard spoken to when it comes to Diablo 4 has loved the game. There's been nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. See, I'm yet to play it, but I really
with some classes being OP and can do millions of damage. But that's just it.
That's the fun though. That's why people like.
Are you muted?
No. Can you not hear me? So give me 1 second, people. I think.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Come on, come back. Yeah, my Discord's crashed. Give me 1 second, folks. Am I back?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Sorry about that. My whole
Hello.
Discord crashed. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one. I'll go back and edit that. Elio Gamers, welcome in. Sorry about that. You came in right as we had a tech issue. I do apologise.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. No, it's because I'm using Opera GX because when I use bloody Firefox, it knocks me out all the time. So every so often you just get the doo-doon of like leaving sites. I'm not going to touch that again. I'm going to leave that working because I don't want to crash my computer again.
Okay, so that video, it's got 59k dislikes.
Ooh, it's a bit. That's gonna. Yeah, but how many? What's the like ratio?
Oh, likes is like less than 2k.
That's funny. That is terrible.
If I'm honest, it's ridiculous. As I was saying, the fact that devs in video game companies are getting shafted, and the thing is, it's one bad egg that is the reason that they're getting shafted.
Yeah.
For Blizzard, it's some of the higher ups, but the people that create the games and put them out there, they're really nice people. They're doing what they love, putting out games that they enjoy.
For a lot of people, the passion projects.
Exactly. And then you've got one or two people. I say one or two. I'm really exaggerating now. You've got one or two people that are screaming on all of the forums, all of the Discords, all of the fucking Reddit posts that this game's shit. And we're just made to believe that that's the way that we all have to be.
But the thing it blows my mind is you've got people bitching about this game. Yet you've got Immortals of Avium, which is just released. And fair enough, the game looks good. It is $60 for a 9-hour game. Fuck that. I just, I can't bring myself to pay that money. It's an absolute ridiculous price. And yeah, we've got people like this who are playing Diablo 4, which is a reasonably priced game at a decent gameplay loop length that you're going to have plenty to do. And yeah, the balancing might be iffy, and yeah, the patching stuff, so sometimes your overpowered build might not be overpowered anymore. But you know what? Fucking deal with it.
Oh, okay, so I just Googled the player base, the actual population of Diablo 4.
Yeah.
It's not 300 and something K.
What is it?
2,304,500. Yeah. The amount of players as of...
Are you looking for the date?
Yeah.
So, was it as of recently?
Yeah. Literally the last week.
Jesus.
2,304,582 players. So you've got 20k
versus millions.
Exactly.
So yeah, you are right. It is like a case of the smallest shout the loudest.
It's a fucking witch hunt.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Person screams in the middle of a square saying there's a witch. They're doing exactly that with
It's Lilith!
video game companies. Yeah, hey, Lilith mommy.
Lilith is Dommy Mommy. Like, she's almost as Dommy Mommy as Panam. Not quite dog food Dommy Mommy.
Oh, I don't know. When you play the game, you may change your mind.
Nah. The only Dommy that I'm going to be going for in the next couple games is either A, Idris Elba in Phantom Liberty, or that red tiefling chick in Baldur's Gate 3. She can step on me any day. But, you know. Who else can step on me? Sladen. Any day. He did a glam rock thing yesterday and he looked fucking beautiful. I was about to make a comment about his Jewish heritage and I thought, no, that won't go down well. I'll save that for when it's just me and Sladen. I was going to say I'd lick his yabacum, but let's not. Gale's the wizard dude, right? I said I liked Gale, and I said I thought it was kind of hot, and Huffle informed me that I kind of look a bit like Gale, which I can't see, but she can. And I was like, she's like, well, you are a narcissist. So, it's never me, always fictional characters or saying, well, I can't fuck you, I've got COVID. But it keeps saying I'm not contagious, but I don't want to risk it. But yeah, Lilith is quite dummy, though. I think we can all agree Lily's fairly dummy. Lilith. Not Lily. I know a Lily. That's gross. Not that she's gross. If you're listening, I'm sorry. This is a hole I've dug and I'm trying to get out of, but failing miserably.
Oh, okay.
Lilith.
I'll get you out of it.
Lilith is dummy.
Yeah. I'll get you out of the hole, though. Diablo 4 being roasted by the community for the showcase. It's a fucking video of people playing a game. Let it be. Let them enjoy the game, if they are enjoying it, or whether they've just been thrust into it. At the end of the day, it's not them showcasing the game before it's been released. It's them after it's been released. So sit down, shut up.
Yeah, if
let the people that enjoy it play it.
If you're that bothered about seeing someone who knows how to play a game actually play it, there's plenty of fucking content out there.
Exactly.
Go watch something else.
Exactly. Go watch porn. Have a cry. Have a wank.
Have something good to eat. Have a laugh. I've got emotes for that now. Fuck you, world. But if you do want to play Diablo 4 and you've got nothing to play it on and you're looking for a new console, we've got the one for you. Follow me. Ooh, it's too real. I fucking love that song. Valve is now selling refurbished Steam Decks with up to £110 off. That's pretty good.
And they've still got some in stock at the moment. I'm currently on their website, and they've got the largest file size, which is the 512 gigabyte storage capacity, for £459, which
That's
is
pretty
very,
good.
very good.
You can walk around
the
with
64 gigabyte version for $279.
You can't
just
go
above
wrong.
The same price as a
Series S
Switch.
or a Switch. Yes. You can have a portable gaming PC in your hand for the same price as a Switch. That is, you can't go wrong.
Which, with some jiggery pokery and everything, you can play Switch games on the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
as well as Xbox games, Steam games, Epic Launcher games, Battle.net games. You can play anything on the Steam Deck with the right jiggery pokery.
You can play the new Last of Us port for PC.
You could
Sam's
probably
so
play,
excited for that one, aren't you?
You could probably play a emulated version of the original game from
which
the PlayStation
would run
3.
a lot better than the port with low poly dual.
Yep.
But yeah, so the new Steam Decks are out. Like I said, there's a substantial markdown on them because they are refurbished. But they have gone through rigorous testing. They are fully functional. Everything's fine on them. And yeah, some of them are the smaller file sizes, but the storage is expandable.
That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. So if you did want to pick one up, please go do. Obviously, if you don't have the money, don't do it. Don't do what my friend Slane did, which was feel sad because he was poor, so buy himself a PS5 to feel better. But yeah, anyone who is listening live in Twitch, there is a link now in chat. Thank you, Sam, for posting that. So if anyone does want to go check out the store, favorite it, make a purchase, you're welcome. There it is. Enjoy.
I was going to say use discount code Yorkshire Puffer for 0% off.
You can get it at the lttstore.com. I'm just going to keep digging at that until we get to that topic. But that's a nice quick fire one. Moving on to the next one then. We do have some more news about the game Dark and Darker. Now, I'd never seen anything about Dark and Darker. I was only familiar with the name. I don't know about you, Sam. I don't know how much you know.
I've played the... I was given access to the early betas and stuff.
It looks very nice. It looks very cool. Whether it's cool or not, I don't know. But
my personal opinion, I don't like the game. But that is my own personal opinion. I think it's Souls-like, it's dungeon crawler. Yeah, two great things to put together. But
if they're done right?
If it's done right. And I don't think that it's going to land as well. There are people out there that will rant and rave about it and say that this Dark and Darker is better than Palia, another early access game. The fact that they've got a new publisher for it, I think it's great. All games deserve the ability to be released on as many consoles and stuff. But
the issue
this is PUBG's publisher.
Yeah.
PUBG on mobile has died. And I think Dark and Darker is one of those games that will quite rightly have the same effect. It will die very fucking quickly because it's gonna...
No, I get what you mean, but I mean, it was originally with Iron Mace. I've never even heard of Iron Mace. I'm assuming this was one of their first titles. I don't know. I might be surprised. They might have done some stuff I've played in the past, but I've never heard of them. They've got some sort of legal dispute. I'll be honest. I was really shit at getting the docket ready for today. I only messaged these to Sam at 9 o'clock last night. I didn't have time to look into what Iron Mace's legal issues were.
So the developer is still Iron Mace. So it has been developed, and they were going to publish it as their own title.
Oh, yeah, because it says at the bottom then Nexon. So I'm assuming Nexon was the original publisher. Then,
I believe that they were. I believe that they were being sued or something or whatever because of assets.
Oh, is this the one when they got the assets from that Epic Store thing, and it turns out that Epic shouldn't have had them on there because it was someone else's? Is this what this was? I remember hearing something about a lawsuit like that, but I didn't realise it was for this.
So the lawsuit with Nexon has been dismissed, which is why they're now going forward with it, but they're not publishing it under their name because a game that's been tainted with a lawsuit...
It's a nail in a coffin for a publisher and a you don't want that.
It was a lawsuit. The creators at Iron Mace came under legal fire due to copyright issues, which left the game on temporary hiatus until April of this year, and it was pulled from the Steam storefront.
Right.
So it's them trying to use another company that's got some traction as a publisher, whether that is just the publisher for the mobile port, and they're still going to do it as Iron Mace is the publisher. I don't know. But let's be honest, they had a lawsuit regarding assets that they stole or used without permission, and they were going to make money from it. And yes, it's been dismissed, but it's still bad fucking practices.
Yeah.
Which is why I boycotted the game, not only because I don't like the way that it plays and how it runs and everything, because it's not my game, but two, if you're stealing property from other people without their permission,
that's not on.
It's not on.
That's shit.
People have spent time for those assets, and if you're using them and you're the person going to be making money from them, you're a scumbag, and you deserve to drown in a pit of fiery tar
and cum
and clum.
Always the clum. Well, you can, as you can tell, sounds very passionate about this. Like I said, I don't know much about it because I didn't have time to do any proper research, because by the time it got around to getting to this topic, I was very tired, so I went to bed. So I'm glad you knew what was going on, because like I said, I'd have been fucked if I'd have been the one having to speak about this.
Dark and Darker is a game for everyone else. It's a Souls-like dungeon crawler, and people will enjoy it. For
So
me,
that sounds
I don't
perfect
like
to
it.
me, but like I said, with everything that's gone on behind the scenes, I don't think I want to support it.
Exactly. It's one of those situations. It's like Blizzard. Blizzard had the whole SA allegations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Blizzard have been in the fire for years now. Dark and Darker is now stealing assets. That's just the one thing that's been brought to light. What's to say that there's not other things?
Yeah, if a
Good
little bit of theft isn't off the table, what's to say they're not doing other shit to push themselves ahead? Well, that's one fantasy game I won't be playing. But
I would say play it if you like dungeon crawler Dark Soulsy games, but don't feel like you're going to invest all your time into it.
I'm going to acquire it in a way that does not give money to the devs. It's not stealing. I'm going to do it perfectly legally. I'm going to wait for it to become free in some sense or another. Game Pass.
That's not going to happen.
Shit wink. No, but yeah. So moving from one fantasy game that we shouldn't play, one I'm really excited to fucking play. Avowed. If anyone doesn't know what Avowed is the next big game from Obsidian Entertainment, the people behind Outer Worlds and Fallout New Vegas. Thank you. I'm fucking blanking on that name then. It was originally designed to be a direct competitor to Skyrim before the Bethesda Microsoft deal went through. It is set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. It is a Skyrim-esque game. Different kind of art style. I kind of like the art style. I know some people have been on the fence about it. Now, originally, it has been revealed, Avowed was going to be multiplayer. Now, I would have loved that. But also seeing how Fallout 76 went, maybe it's for the best that devs don't try and put multiplayer into games when they're not really known for multiplayer. What do you think?
Just using Fallout 76 as a topic. When it first released, it's like all the games. They've tried to put something out and it's landed wrong initially. Now, I know that people have gone back and played it after patches and everything like that. But it's Fallout. It's from a universe that we all love. And I'm sure if you went and played it now, you'd see a complete different experience from what you played before. Now, Avowed originally being multiplayer, that would have been great. If it's meant to have been a competitor to Skyrim, that's great. And having multiplayer, that's great. But when you're taking so long to release a game like Avowed, that's meant to be a competitor for a game that's been out for nearly 2 decades now, that has now been given a mod that lets you play multiplayer.
Yeah, Skyrim Together does look pretty sick. I wish I had a PC strong enough to not explode by trying it.
Skyrim Together has basically turned round and shut on Avowed. Yes, Avowed is going to be a new game, but there is such a fan base for Skyrim. Avowed could be a good game, but it's kind of like...
That's the point, yeah. Sky Oblivion's coming soon as well. That's the remake of Oblivion in Skyrim's engine, for anyone who doesn't know. That's going to overshadow Avowed a lot.
All I will say is, Avowed is a new game on the market, which is great. We need new games. But when you're going up against, or saying that you're trying to rival a game that has been beloved and cherished and has had, 6 or 7 fucking releases over the last 15, 16, 17 years,
Yeah.
close to 2 decades, that has mod capabilities and stuff, that is endless possibilities with Skyblivion coming into it. What's happened with other games like that?
They have
They've
died
flopped
into complete and utter abandonment. But I do feel like the one thing that's going to carry Avowed through and give it an edge on the competition is the fact it's day one Game Pass. I feel like if it wasn't day one Game Pass, it wouldn't stand a hope in hell.
No, it wouldn't. But the thing is, you have to. In this day and age, Game Pass is a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
Back in the day, there was nothing like Game Pass, so you had to go out and buy a game. But the devs had spent so much time on it and only given us tidbits. Now, with games in this day and age, we are finding out about everything to do with the game before it fucking releases. Whether it be big events. It's like TV shows as well. You find out about the big events in the trailers and stuff. I mentioned it last night to Meg. We were watching Jurassic World Dominion. And the fact that for anyone that hasn't watched it, I am sorry, but it's a film that's been out for a while now. The fact that they had the original cast from Jurassic Park with Jeff Goldblum's character and everything, and they gave us the announcement that they're going to be in it in the trailer.
If they'd have kept that on the down low, I'd have lost my shit.
Exactly. It was a ruined fucking part. They could have kept it quiet, hush, hush.
But then again, I do feel like they brought them in because the last two Jurassic Worlds hadn't been that popular. And they were like, right, let's bring the originals back to pull people in because most of the money that they get comes from box office. So maybe that's why they were trying to push it that way.
But it's that whole thing, though, isn't it? It's like you give us everything before the game or the TV show or the movie releases, and then it's not a big surprise.
Yeah.
And I think with Avowed, we're hearing so much about it. Oh, it was going to be multiplayer originally, but it's not now. Is it just co-op? Okay.
It's the same with like when Cyberpunk did it, when they were like, we want to add multiplayer to it later down the line, and then it flopped. And they're like, right, we're not going to add the multiplayer now because we need to focus on everything else. Like, if you'd have just never mentioned the multiplayer, no one would have given a fuck. But I do feel like back in the day, it was so much nicer because if a game released, you wouldn't know about the shit that didn't come that they were going to add but cut or anything like that. You'd get your finished game and you'd be happy with it. Whereas nowadays, like you said, you get everything prior. It's like, and this is a recent thing. Like even in high school for me, it's 10 years ago. I left high school 10 years ago. Even in high school for me, it was the same sort of thing. I could, if a new game came out, I wouldn't have to sit on the internet dodging spoilers. And nowadays, I think I know everything about Astarion's fucking storyline in Baldur's Gate 3 because it's fucking everywhere.
But, I mean, that's a good point. Felix has just said, to be honest, coming in as a Pillars of Eternity fan, Felix couldn't give a shit about this game being multiplayer. The universe has always been single player. So they're trying to... It is very much like a Bethesda with... Well, not Bethesda, but Fallout situation. It's a game that's always been single player. Trying to do the multiplayer thing because multiplayer is such a big thing.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Multiplayer as a feature would be cool. Like, being able to just have a friend jump in, join you for some quests, and then fuck off, drop in, drop out. But it's not make or break. And I feel like companies trying to, like, break the neck trying to add multiplayer, or, like, these people, like, you've not got multiplayer and you already know you're not adding multiplayer. Just don't mention the multiplayer. No one knew there was going to be multiplayer. It didn't need saying.
Yeah, it's that biggest thing that we're finding out about everything about the game before the game's released. And when the systems or anything don't fucking work, they're like, oh yeah, we weren't going to add it, or we were going to add it, but we removed it. Yeah. No, keep your mouth shut, make it a big surprise for us. From there, we can make the decision whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But don't give us everything first. Give us a tidbit. Give us a tiny bit. Like a teaser trailer for like 15 seconds that shows one thing that the people that either know the universe want to play or people that they want to see in the game. But don't give us any more than that.
The trailer that we've got so far, because obviously all we had for Avowed for the longest time was we had that little teaser trailer when it was first announced, with a little arrow going over and down into the canyon with a Balrog looking thing in the cave. That was all we had for a few years. And then we got this trailer at Summer Games Fest, like basically what was E3. And that's all we've really had for Avowed. And I'm happy with just that knowledge.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Don't drop any more. Avowed. Oh, I've been so excited for Avowed for years now.
I think I've seen the trailer for it, and I think that's the only thing that I've seen. I don't know the universe. I've never played a Pillars of Eternity game.
So I think I've played Pillars of Eternity. If the second one's the one that's called Deadfire or whatever, then yes, I've played Pillars of Eternity. I quite like them. They're alright games. I made my D&D character in them. The universe is pretty cool. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Avowed. I only started playing the Pillars of Eternity games, if they are the games I'm thinking of, after that came out, because it intrigued me and I looked into the universe.
Yeah.
Like, I probably wouldn't have played it without Avowed coming. But like I said, my main draw to this is because, obviously, it's by the people who made Fallout New Vegas and Outer Worlds. I love both them games. It's coming to Game Pass. To me, it's a competitor to Skyrim, one of the games I love, one of the games I've been playing off stream again recently since finishing Red Dead. To me, this is going to be awesome. And because it's coming straight to Game Pass, like Starfield next week. And I say next week because I'm very tempted to buy the special edition and get the 5 days early access. Because you can buy the special edition upgrade whilst... Aggression. You can buy the special deluxe edition upgrade for Starfield without buying the game. So you can upgrade your Game Pass version and play it 5 days early. So you can basically get early access Starfield for £30.
That's really good.
That's solid, and I'm so fucking tempted. I'll be getting the early access Baldur's Gate because it's like £5 more expensive than the normal for 3 days early access. Fuck yes, why wouldn't I?
Okay. Goody said quite a good thing. Goody says, feel the way they have treated the reveals of Space Marine 2 is perfect. Show the action, show the main character being a badass, and show some gameplay that doesn't spoil anything. 100%. They have done it perfectly. That is exactly how every game should be. It should be in-game footage of just a general fight scene, but not a boss fight scene or a big reveal fight scene. Just killing the lowest of the low. But
this is the one thing where I feel like, as much as Cyberpunk had its problems on release, the marketing they did so well, because the only stuff they showed you was shit from the first 3 hours of the game, but there was that much to show. Like, the fact that the way they showed all the stuff, it looked like Jackie was going to be a companion the whole way through. And I apologise if anyone's not played the game, but the game's been out for 3 years now, so... But the way the trailer makes it out is like Jackie's going to be a persistent character throughout the game. So the fact that the tutorial ends with Jackie dying and you're like, fuck. The whole trailer, like, for the whole game was about your relationship with Jackie. Like, you know what I mean?
It's the trailer has done it right, and the fact that they were just showing the tutorial mission that was, yes, Cyberpunk's a different breed because it's a huge game. Like, we're talking hours, like 80 plus hours if you want to do it with like side quest and stuff. Maybe even more. But the fact that they showed off 3 hours of gameplay out of 80, and it's just the tutorial that you play through, you're not getting any spoilers apart from the fact that Keanu Reeves is in it. Yeah, but then you find out more.
Yeah, like everything you think you know from the trailer is only surface level shit. And that's how I feel like trailers should do. Cause like, I'm with you, I feel like trailers show way too much nowadays. Like, the amount of stuff I've seen, it's like, oh, I've seen that bit now, so I don't need to play the fucking game, do I?
I'm going to use an example here. The Ahsoka TV show.
Yes. They started releasing a trailer every fucking day.
It's not just that, it's the trailer that they've got on the banner on Disney Plus. They've shown, I'm pretty sure there's about 2 scenes from the first 2 episodes. The rest of them are further along.
Yeah.
Now, yes, there is context needed for certain parts, like certain characters being on the screen. But you kind of know that something's coming up.
Yeah.
Don't give us everything like that. We want the surprise. We want the suspense. Give us the first episode or two, like the cool scenes from it. Then when it releases, we're like, okay, so we've seen this and we've seen the full thing now. What next? Who's coming out the woodwork?
Well, that's why I avoided most of the advertising for Ahsoka, for that simple reason that, like I said, they started releasing a trailer for the the last week up until its release. They were doing a small trailer every day, and I'm like, by that point, you might as well just release the fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me everything in one go. That's why I've avoided most. And I know it's a case of, oh, well, if you don't want to spoil it, just don't watch it. It's hard not to sometimes. I don't have a lot of willpower, so I'd rather not have the facility to spoil it for myself, because I know for a fact I will. And yeah, that's my own fault. But you shouldn't be fucking putting half of the shit out there in the first place.
It's one of those things with TV shows. I don't know about you, but there are those ones that do the trailers for each episode.
Yeah.
Great. But then they've got the teaser of like a 10-second, 15-second clip that they just upload. And that's 15 seconds from it. But it's a big spoiler plot twist that they're doing.
Yeah, they always go, well, it's not a big bit, it's always a quiet scene. It's like, yeah, but it's always a quiet scene after the big bit where they're all kind of recuperating and addressing what happened in the big bit. So you're like, right, so I've not seen the big bit, but I know it's happened.
It's a great marketing thing, but at the same time, you're taking away the suspense and the surprise and the, wow, this thing has happened, or this character's just shown up. It's like in Ahsoka, if they turn around, it's like the fact that we kind of know that from the trailers, a certain Darth Vader character is going to be in it at some stage, whether it's flashbacks or something.
Well, I mean, you don't even need to like watch the trailers for that. The amount of articles just scrolling through when it's like stuff about, oh yeah, Hayden Christensen's in it, and you'll scroll down a few more and it'll be another saying Hayden Christensen. It's like, yeah, we fucking get it. Hayden Christensen's in it. You know how I'd have loved to find that out? By fucking watching it.
It's one of those things. Going back to Avowed, thanks for releasing this information that Avowed was going to be multiplayer, but it's not anymore.
Yeah.
So why make an article telling us that it was going to? And it's kind of like, here's some cake, but you're not allowed the cake.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna give you this cake, but now I'm not. It's like, well, just don't fucking tell me then, dickhead.
It's ridiculous. Avowed, I will probably play it if it's going to be on Game Pass. It will be a good game.
I reckon it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good game, but whether it's got the same playability as Skyrim has over the years, considering that it's meant to be its like competitor or what it's trying to match or be better
I don't think it's ever going to hit Skyrim level.
No,
I think Skyrim is dreaming.
Skyrim is a different fucking breed, and the fact that we are still playing it now to this day, we're all going through doing our playthroughs. I'm just going to do this very, very quickly. I'm
also going into it not thinking about Skyrim, but I feel like the fact that they marketed it as a direct competitor to Skyrim is where they've shot themselves in the foot, because now, no matter whether they wanted it or not, people are going to make them comparisons, and that's the issue. But I'm going to go into it with an open mind. I'm going into it, like Felix has said, as a Pillars of Eternity game, not as a Skyrim competitor. I'm just going to go into it as another fun fantasy game that I can have a laugh with. But like, you're never going to hit that level that Bethesda games do, and the reason Bethesda games do so well isn't because of the games, and it isn't because of Bethesda. It's because of how loyal the modding community is to them games. That's the only reason Skyrim's still relevant, is because the modding community have made enough content to recreate that game 100 times over, which is beautiful, really.
The fact that Skyrim, whether it be people that have upgraded the graphics from being what it was like in, what year was it, 2010, 2011, maybe 2009, sorry. There's people that have upgraded and enhanced the graphics to look like modern day. You've got people that have added side quests. You've got people that have added buildings and full zones. There are people that have doubled the amount of stuff that you can do with it because they've created a full DLC style.
Yeah.
bit of content that adds hundreds more playable romanceable characters and quests to do and housing and weapons and stuff like that, with all the lore and the stories behind it. And then you've got someone that's saying, oh yeah, we're going to be like Skyrim. I'm not shooting Avowed down. It is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic here. Don't think that you are going to come out the woodwork and go, oh, we're going to fight Skyrim and we're going to be better than Skyrim. We're going to compete with them. Because you're not. Skyrim is S tier game. And I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you can't deny its success.
Exactly. Yes, it has had release after release, and I mean like the different editions that you can get. But that's because it's fucking lived its time.
Yeah, that's because people keep buying it.
It's still played. And there are still people, as you said, there are still people modding it.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give it a go. I'll play Avowed. I will probably enjoy the story and everything, and the gameplay. But don't give us everything, and don't give us these articles that say we were going to do multiplayer, which that would have been the only thing that may have tipped the balance over.
It's a game that has full functionality in multiplayer, because that's the one thing with Skyrim. Yeah, you've got the mod for multiplayer, but it's a mod. It's unstable. All mods are.
It's a mod that someone's created as opposed to the developer adding it in as a base thing, which I think they should have done with the anniversary edition.
I think they should have done.
You know what? We're now going to do multiplayer, which then would have brought more.
But I feel like with how big the modding scene is for Bethesda, I do feel like Sky Oblivion should be officially licensed when it comes out.
Yeah,
I think they should partner up with Bethesda and officially license it. It's going to be better than any Oblivion remake that we get from Bethesda.
What I will say is it has happened before. There have been people that have come in and remastered games. Those games have then been bought up or bought out or partnered with the original creators to then put it out on a public platform and put it onto stuff. And I will use the example of Half-Life. Half-Life Black Mesa was a Valve game, the people that do the Steam Decky stuff. They had a couple years back, it's been in development 4 years, but a small team of people, we're talking a handful of people, have spent years remastering it to have the same graphics, because the original game came out in the 90s, so we're talking blocky graphics like original Doom and Quake style. But there have been people that spent time modding it and updating it. Valve saw that. Instead of saying cease and desist, they were like, you know what? You're doing the God's work right now. We would like to bring you into our team. You will still be yourself. You'll still be your own entity. But instead of you being one of these people that gives the game for free, we want you to come in. We'll put it on our Steam thing. People can search for it through our Steam search engine. And we want to help you, pay you to do it.
Yeah.
And it was free for years. They released it, and they've completely finished Black Mesa now. They've released it. You now have to pay for a little bit for it, but for years it was free. If you added it to your Steam library, you had it for free. Great.
I imagine it's not like break the bank expensive either. So
I don't think it is, but the thing is, they're now doing it with the other game from the same franchise. So Half-Life Blue Shift.
Yeah. They're
going through and remastering that. That is great.
That's how it should be.
Brilliant.
But then you see some people who are flaky with it. Like I believe with Sega, Sonic Mania started off as a fan-made game, and then they bought that and it became an officially licensed thing. But then Sega are also one of the most toxic people for anything fan-created. They literally tried to sue one of our Twitch friends for $2 million for trying to make a Sonic the Hedgehog keyring on his Etsy store. Like, they're awful people. But once in a blue moon, they have a good idea and they see a fan-created thing, they pick it up. But I mean, like even like going back to Bethesda though, they've seen it, like the modders and stuff with officially licensing stuff. Because that's what the Creation Club was. It was modders who got on board, and unfortunately it went into a microtransaction store, which I didn't like. But I all got added into the anniversary edition, which I have, so I like the content. But all that started off as mods. And then Bethesda were just like, we like these mods. We've curated all these mods. Do you want to get on board? And I'm like, yeah, right. Like, if they can do it, then I do feel like at some point, Bethesda multiplayer is going to be a thing.
Okay, so just to give you some context, the original Half-Life came out in, let's have a look, 1998. Now, Black Mesa,
same age as me.
Black Mesa was released officially in 2020 by the development group called the Crowbar Collective.
Okay.
The original game is 7.19. The 1998 version is 7.19.
Yeah.
The Black Mesa remake is now 14.99.
That's not bad for
the
full
entire
remake.
Game remastered, and it hasn't had bad reviews. All reviews overwhelmingly positive. Recent reviews very positive. We're talking 100,000 reviews over the time. That's how things should be. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
People coming together like Skyrim. It should be like that.
Yeah. That is the perfect example of how you remaster a game.
Yeah.
What you don't do when you're remastering a game is not remaster it at all.
This is our segue to the next thing on the docket.
Yes, and release the whole part of the original game with 0 improvements for $50. But according to Take-Two CEO, that's commercially accurate. And it's a great price tag. And because it includes Undead Nightmare, it's great value. Bullshit. Is it fuck?
Before we go any sooner, Take-Two and like Red Dead Redemption being a Rockstar game, Rockstar have always been a bit iffy when it comes to selling their games because they are the one thing that never get reduced in price. GTA 5 for years, apart from the odd sale here and there, for the most part is 50 fucking quid still.
Yeah.
For like the gameplay, Red Dead Redemption 2, 50 fucking quid still. This is a game that if they had reduced it more would have been better. And yes, the port for Red Dead 1 being 40 quid or whatever, yes, they've got to pay people for the port that they've done. But let's be honest, it's just a fucking port. They've sent it off to someone else to go do. Because no one does supporting these days at the original companies.
The thing that pisses me off, though, is yes, Red Dead games do stay full price for a while. And that is because, generally, fucking Rockstar games even tend to stick at full price, generally, because, and it's fair enough, they're good fucking games.
Yeah.
No denying that they're great games. Red Dead 1, when it came out, outstanding game. But when you can buy Red Dead 1 on disc for £7.50, and this is the exact same game, they've done 0 improvements with it, and a DLC which, let's face it, should normally be about half the price of the game, let's face it. £7.50 plus $3.75. You're looking at 12 quid. And you're paying $40. $50, 40 quid. It's a rip-off. And I feel like when there were so many rumours going around that we were getting a new Red Dead, like 1, and everyone was thinking, oh, it's going to be done in Red Dead 2's engine and stuff. Surely there must have been a point where they were seeing the audience reaction to the rumours of Red Dead 1 releasing and what our expectations was. Surely they should have looked at that at some point. Looked at the fact that they were selling an overpriced port of a 13-year-old game and thought, you know what? We might have fucked up here.
Just want to bring this up. So, Red Dead Redemption is 40 quid. You've got the console that they've ported it to, being the Switch. The OLED version is like 230 or 250 quid.
Yeah.
That's for the OLED version. You can get it cheaper with the Switch Lite. I have literally 2 seconds gone on CEX and found Red Dead Redemption for the PlayStation 3, selling on CEX for £5. I've also had a look at eBay for a PlayStation 3 console. You can get them as cheap as £20. You can get them as expensive as £35 to £40.
Yeah.
All in,
Realistically, you can get the game
quid.
and a console for cheaper if you get it from the right place, cheaper, or around at least the same ballpark price as it would be just to buy the game.
Yeah. You can get the game, and this is like PlayStation's with extra games, like 11 games added onto the listing. So you're taking 40 quid for the port on a console that is new gen, but there's nothing new gen about the game because it's just been ported over to be portable.
Well, I don't get Take-Two's reasoning with it, because like it was the same when they did the ports for the GTA trilogy. That wasn't even a part of the original game. It was a port of the it was a part of the mobile game. Then they re-released onto new gen consoles and charged you full price for it, and it was like, what are they fucking thinking? They've got some of the greatest storytellers, some of the greatest level and game designers on the fucking planet working for Take-Two. And I don't use that lightly. Their games are outstanding. Whether you like them or not, you cannot deny, especially Red Dead 2's world and physics system and character building and story. You cannot deny whether you like the game or not. It is outstanding. And they've got a game here that they've already got all the voice lines for that are still decent quality too. They wouldn't need to re-record the voice lines. They've got the engine there. They've got most of the map there from Red Dead 2 as well. They just need to rebuild Mexico. 90% of the game's done for them. And yet they still went with this shit instead. And it's, as a die-hard Rockstar fan, someone who's played almost every single one of the games that they've released, it's insulting. It's like they've spat in her faces, really. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like this, but it just feels like a fuck you to the fan base.
It is a fuck you to the fan base. At the end of the day, the fact that they're charging this much for a port that is something that they didn't necessarily need to do, and the fact that we've been waiting for new content with Red Dead, and instead of getting Red Dead Redemption 2 Undead Nightmare 2, which would be a fucking slap.
It would be outstanding.
They've gone, you know what, we've given the Red Dead Redemption original game to another company. That company has ported it over to Switch. There's nothing new with it. It's just portable now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but with the advancements of the Steam Deck and the Xbox One and the ROG Ally, yes, they're expensive things. We can get Red Dead Redemption for free.
Yeah.
There are ways of doing it, getting Red Dead Redemption free. But no, because it's going on a Nintendo console. One, there's nothing improved with it, like graphics. Or it's the fact that it's portable. And I'm sorry, but it's not a big enough selling point to actually be worth the 40 quid. You might as well, as I said, go on CEX, get Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation 3. Go onto eBay, get a PlayStation 3 with 11 games for 20 to 35 quid. All in 40 quid, you've got more gameplay and a better console to play it on, in my opinion, than
a Switch.
Buying
I will say this, like if you buy it on PS4 and you then buy it's not, there's not a PS5 copy. That's the other stupid thing. It's not a PS5 version, it's a PS4 version that you're buying. That then upscales because of the backwards compatibility. I will give them that. The graphics look kind of clean because it's kind of like got rid of the fuzziness and cleaned up all the lines and stuff through the standard like AI generated upscaling. But it's not enough. The blurriness and the age of it, I like that. Like if I play it on my Xbox and I play the Xbox 360 version of it, I don't mind that. But when you get the upscale versions like this where it cleans up the graphics, it highlights how dated it is. That's the issue. Like, I don't know who thought this was a great idea, but they are wrong. And I hope they are worried about their job security right now because they fucking should be.
The fact is, in this day and age, yes, these games are beloved, but what we ask for, what the community are asking for, not just from Red Dead, but other big games as well that have been getting remasters, or we want a remaster for, is we want upgraded graphics on the current gen to play through a childhood classic and enjoy these childhood memories and reminisce about it and enjoy it again. And yes, it is a lot of time, money to remaster something. I get it. But if other companies, smaller companies, are able to do it and release, or even modders are able to do it, why can't they listen to their community and their fan base and go, we don't care if we don't get a new game. We just want the old game looking pretty swanky.
Yeah.
And if they did that, I would pay 40 quid for a remastered copy.
The thing, if they redid Red Dead 1 in Red Dead 2's engine with Undead Nightmare, I would probably fork out about 80, 90 quid. Yeah, genuinely, I would.
Same here.
But for the base game that is so cheap already and you're not paying for anything new, what is the point? Like, I'm kind of tempted to get it simply for the Switch because I like...
Have you got a way of recording it or whatever? On PC?
I can run the Switch through the capture card, yeah, if I wanted to.
It would be worth getting it and doing your thoughts on what... Yeah, your thoughts, because you've played, obviously, Red Dead 1 on a console that it was made
I've played it numerous times.
Testing the port. At the end of the day, testing it as a port and having it there is great. And the fact is, if you bought it instead of digitally, if you're able to buy it physically, you can trade it back in. Or get cash back or whatever. True. If you did it, it'd be worth to see what it's actually like, because we may be slating it and the port is perfect.
But let's face it, if it's the same company that did the GTA ones, it's going to be far from fucking perfect, is it? But
the thing is, ports have never fucking worked, realistically, because it's old games coming to new consoles and they've not transitioned and converted well. Last of Us for PC, nothing new there. It's just on PC now, and it failed.
I feel like the difference, especially with the PS4 version, is there shouldn't be any issues with the PS4 version because all they've done is port the PS3 version to PS4. It's the same. It's the same operating system and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? For the most part, it should be fine. Switch, maybe, because it's a different system altogether. But I can't see there being. Like I said, I might pick it up when it's cheaper, give it a run. It'll probably be after Christmas. I might run it through on the channel and see sort of what it's like. But mainly because I've never played Undead Nightmare.
Oh, I did, and it was honestly that's why I want Red Dead Redemption 2 Nightmare 2.
Yeah, that's the only reason I kind of want it, because I've never played Undead Nightmare, and I just feel like being able to sit in bed and play Red Dead on a Switch would be sick. But
it would be.
At the same time, I'm not going to lose any sleep over not having it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
We've got one more point to go through, guys, and it is a.
We've got the one that I told you last night, just the little one.
Do you want to run through that one now then? Because I've forgotten what that one was.
Yeah. So everyone that is a Nintendo fan, we've seen the new, like the emulations and stuff from previous Nintendo products. Now, the one of the best leakers from a Nintendo standpoint has basically been leaking and told us that Nintendo are going to be giving us the Nintendo GameCube as an emulation piece. That it is very much in the works, and there is a Nintendo Direct coming up for the holidays in 2023.
I didn't know we were expecting another Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, but fall and holiday 2023 are looking a bit barren, but there is a Nintendo...
My only issue with this, though, is they bring it, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to do another Nintendo Direct in the holiday season, but like the main selling point is if they're going to bring GameCube games to Switch. Like, I cannot remember the last time Nintendo did a Direct when it wasn't 90% ports.
I'll tell you one thing that Nintendo need to do, and it's just a very quick one. they should have been bringing the old Pokemon games back. Literally giving us all of the originals on Switch Online.
But the thing is, it's like they're keeping all the good games away from people. They're bringing they're not bringing any new games out other than like 2 Zeldas and a Mario game. Oh, big fucking whoop. And then, like, everything else is, do you want some ports of games that you can play somewhere else where it'll run better because their console isn't as limited? Like, that's my one issue with the Switch is 90% of the shit they sell is just that. It's shit. And it's ports of stuff that runs not as good as it does originally because the console's weaker, and yet it stays at a fucking absurd price because it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like Nintendo, and I'm sorry to you people that like Nintendo. That's just my personal opinions. I've never been a fan. Like, when people had DSs, I had PSPs. I was always a PlayStation and, like, kid over a Nintendo kid. I never played a Mario game. Like, fuck you, Mario. You gimp. You had a good movie, though. I'll give you that. Sorry, you go.
I wasn't going to say anything. I heard you going off on a rant, but because I just wanted to bring it up, saying that GameCube's going to be potentially coming to Switch. What games? I don't know. Hopefully some good ones, and then hopefully they can get on and give us the old Nintendo games that we want.
The games that were actually good before they went into the current marketing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's use this as our segue to our third, well, not our third, but our final.
I say it's not the third, it's the
topic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th topic of the day. We've been busy. 10 if you count the fact that we did go into Ahsoka for a bit.
Yeah, true.
So,
but let's use this as a segue to our final talking discussion.
Sponsored by LTCstore.com. We're not. Don't sue us. A lot of you, anyone who is into your computers, tech, anything like that, will be familiar with this face. Anyone who is just listening and isn't watching live, we are talking about the one, the only, Linus Sebastian, Mr. Linus Tech Tips himself. There's been some controversy. There was a lot of news about them fudging numbers, and with their editing things, they weren't catching the fact that the numbers were inaccurate, so they've been falsely giving false review statistics of items, which could open them up to a lot of lawsuits. And the one big thing is they did get a cooler block, like water cooling block, for a 3090 graphics card. It was a $1 million prototype. They didn't have a 3090, didn't want to spend £500. So they tried to fit it to a 4060, complained that it didn't work, told everyone not to buy it and that it was a shit piece of kit. Bear in mind, this is the first bit of kit this company's ever made, and they've basically ruined this company. Oh, and then they auctioned off the $1 million prototype instead of sending it back. To say he's done some shitty things recently would be an understatement. Sam, opinion.
Okay, I'm going to come into this as a fan of Linus Tech Tips because whenever they've released a video, I've watched it. I've watched them when they were just a group of lads in a spare room in his house.
Yeah,
and
same.
I thoroughly enjoy their content, and what they are trying to do is brilliant. And the stuff that they are putting out is brilliant. This one thing, this whole cooler block bullshit, it's open to interpretation. There are things that we know about, there are things that we don't know about. They put out an apology video with all of the bigwigs at the Linus Tech Tips, or media group as they call it. Now they've got people in a load of different departments, whether it be from finance to HR to like video reviews. Someone that literally sits in a room all day watching these videos and tells them what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, things have been brought up, but we have to take into consideration Linus Tech Tips is a big channel now. Linus Tech Tips wasn't a big channel. He was someone that got made redundant from a company, started his own YouTube channel, and has been progressing from there. And for the last couple of years, probably before COVID time, but over the last couple of years, they have been improving and building a bigger and bigger and bigger thing. And even he has said that he is not he's not the head of a company.
Well, that's the thing. He used to be, didn't he? And then he stepped down and someone else took over because he wanted to see the content creation side of things.
He is the person. He started Linus Tech Tips because NCIX, his original employer, was made redundant, shut down.
Yeah.
Long and the short of it, he only was the CEO because it was his name on the door.
Yeah.
That is no longer the case. They have now got a new CEO, which was
Terran Tong,
which was one of the biggest people at Nvidia. He was like the CEO of Nvidia or something. He's now stepped in from a financial and like a business standpoint, and I think it's what they needed. Linus doesn't want to be doing the big things, which is why he's now had a demotion to Chief Visionary Officer.
Yeah, which is like, this is the videos I want to make, so I'm going to make them.
Exactly. Yes, this whole controversy about the water block is shit. It's not good that they turned around and got
like
this water
you said,
block.
We only know what we've been told. There could be a lot more to it.
Linus hasn't been able to turn around and go, look, this is everything. This is the emails, this is the screenshots, this is the phone calls, everything like that. Because, let's be honest, it doesn't need to be like that. Yes, this is a company working on £1 million water block. But Linus isn't, or the company itself, Linus Media Group, aren't the type of people that would take it. They are reviewers of tech. They are the tech gurus that we all go to.
Yeah. It could have been a miscommunication, or it could be that we are looking at it through rose-tinted glasses since we are such big fans and have been for years, and they might be a massive piece of shit. But it's like a lot of people are blaming, like you said, because Linus, just because it's his name on the door, everyone assumes it's him. Like the stuff with the incorrect figures and stuff for the videos they're making, Linus isn't in charge of getting the numbers. Linus goes in, Alex gives him all the numbers from previous run tests, and then an editor goes in and makes sure the editing's right. Linus doesn't edit. Linus doesn't do the benchmark tests. He just makes the videos and does the main content. So
Linus doesn't need anything. Linus is the face.
Yeah.
And that is what he wants to be. He is the talking point. He's the face. He's the person that knows his stuff. And he is a very intelligent man about it. But he's got a writing department that literally will give him scripts of stuff to say. But the thing is, it's not like he's the face but doesn't know. He has his own opinion because he knows what he's fucking talking about.
Yeah.
And he's got an editing team, which that editing team then goes to a person that sits in a tiny fucking room watching the videos and goes through and fact checks everything.
Yeah.
And then sends it back. Now, as Goody said, they have been stuck in the mindset of sending out a video a day for years.
Yeah.
And it's something that needs to change. They don't need to do that anymore to stay relevant because they provide good content.
They are the go-to on the internet for anything tech tip related.
Exactly. Now, he's obviously now beefing with someone called Gamers Nexus, which does the same sort of thing, reviews and stuff. But that's because, let's be honest, in this day and age, if there's bad publicity for anyone, or a bad word to say about anyone, you will all hop on and have your own words to fucking say.
In Gamers Nexus's defense, it has been said multiple times by Linus Tech Tips, including Linus himself on the One Show and stuff, that they are better than Gamers Nexus. Yet then all this comes out that they have been releasing incorrect statistics of figures and benchmarks on tech. And Gamers Nexus are like, well, we don't do that. So who's better now? Like, it's your competitor. You've got to be switched on with shit like that. So Linus Tech Tips have done that to themselves, really.
They have, but at the same time, Gamers Nexus is a small fucking company.
Oh, it is. It's tiny.
In comparison. And the fact is, Linus gives us information on fucking everything, and Games Nexus has a very niche market to it.
Yeah.
Yes, their benchmarks might not be the same, but it's open to interpretation at the end of the day. Because, I mean, what they're doing at the moment is they've got the thing called labs.
Yeah.
Now, labs, they are currently developing their own testing thing, which will take every single bit of kit that has been released over the years, mix matches it with different RAMs and CPUs and motherboards and stuff to give you the most accurate benchmark review for everything. Not anymore like, can you run it or anything like that. This is legitimately going to be something that will give you this, like, this is your exact PC. This is how it runs.
Yeah.
And that is great. Now, have they been a bit sloppy recently? Yes. Have they let bad or incorrect information get out?
Yes.
They've admitted that. But at the end of the day, they are a company that has grown so significantly in such a little time that it was originally, I think it was like 6 or 7 dudes running Linus Media Group.
Yeah. Well, it's...
And now they're hundreds of people working across 4 massive buildings. And I'm sorry, but when you go from being a really small company to a really big company,
there's going to be teething issues.
Normal.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have employed, like, I remember last year watching videos and they were talking, every video at the end of it was, oh, we're recruiting new people for this, we're recruiting new people for that, la-di-da-di-da. Now they've got all the equipment. They're just going through a transition.
Yeah.
Yes, they're beefing with Gamers Nexus, but at the end of the day, Linus is the person that was putting out videos every day on stuff.
And at the end of the day, the little beef in between Gamers Nexus and Linus Tech Tips, it's healthy. It's part of the industry. Like I said, the direct competitors, I don't think any of them have any malice towards each other. It's just that's part and parcel of the industry. That is what it is.
For fuck's sake, Linus Tech Tips, or Linus, has made comments about Austin Evans, another tech reviewer.
Yeah, I love Austin.
Jay's 2 cent.
I said Jay fucking used to work for Linus. They're directly partnered.
Exactly.
It was Jay who taught me how to build fucking computers. Why they're all shit.
He's made comments about anyone and everyone in the industry because he's either friends with them and it's healthy banter.
Yeah.
Now, if it's been blown out of proportion with Gamers Nexus because it's around the same time as this water block situation, again, we don't know all the details. We haven't seen the exact emails between the people. It may have been just lack of communication or misinterpreting what is said in the emails. But I'm sorry, but you've given a water block to the biggest, or I would say the biggest tech reviewer in the world.
Yeah.
And the benchmark wasn't accurate because it wasn't on the exact card that it was intended for. But your name was out there.
Yeah, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
like this was the first product these people. Not when it's the first product you've made. It's the first product you've made, and you are trying to get out into that market. And your first review of your first product you make is the biggest name in tech reviewing coming out and saying this product's shit. Nobody buy it. Don't waste your money. It's a joke. That's not good. When he already knew that it was specifically designed for a different card, and rather than spend that money, he decided to do it on a card he knew it wouldn't fit and then say that. That is wrong. I love the guy, but that is fucking wrong.
But I'm not coming to his defense. I'm merely here to say graphics cards back in the day, they were very much different layout cards. Whereas in this day and age, they are exactly the same layout on the PCB, just with different chips. All the holes are the same. All the chips are in the same position. So from Linus's point of view, it should have been a perfect change.
Yeah, but I think the issue was because they were focusing more on the effective side of it rather than the universal side of it. So they had a graphics card which they could use. So they made sure it fit perfectly on that model of that specific graphics card. I think the plan was they were going to get the effectiveness working first and then move on and get it fitting universally, which is standard in R&D.
Okay.
And Linus would have known this because they'd have told him this. They did tell him this, and he still went and did it. So, slap on the wrist.
How about this? Not that I'm trying to shut down. I'm trying to come to Linus's defense, and I'm trying to shut down this company. But they sent a water block, just a water block over to be reviewed. Because it needed to go on a specific make and model of a specific card that they've been testing it on. Why didn't they send the graphics card over? If it's intended to be on an exact one specific model, why didn't they send over the graphics card?
That is fair enough.
That's I'm not trying to shut them down or stick up for Linus. I'm just.
Oh no, I get what you mean. Like they could have quite easily sent him everything he needed to run it. 100%.
Exactly.
But
this could have been. We've seen results of this caliber with this card with our water block. Here is the card and the water block for you to do your own.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the issues with this are Linus Tech Tips are obviously aware, because one of the main issues with this was the fact that when they got it, they didn't want to spend the money on this type of graphics card, not because they didn't want to spend the money, but because the card would have taken a couple days to turn up and it would have fucked with their release schedule for their videos. Just put a different fucking video up, change your order. That's all it had to be. But I feel like we could go back and forth on this one. Unfortunately, this isn't the end of the controversy for Linus Tech Tips. There is more. Oh, God. So, off the back of all this stuff with the water block and the incorrect stats and everything like this, Linus Tech Tips recorded an apology video using, like Sam said earlier, all the bigwigs of staff from Linus Tech Tips from LTT. In between editing and uploading said video, a female former employee came out and made allegations of sexual misconduct and gamer bro energy in the workplace, and she had evidence to prove it, so I've been told. Now, this is an isolated incident. It's completely separate, so it's an issue, but it should be addressed as a separate issue. The only problem is, she put them tweets up in between the apology video being recorded and released. And during the apology video, several jokes of a sexual nature were made. And as you can imagine, it's not gone down well. It's not good.
Okay, so I know exactly who this person is, and they were someone that won a PC from Linus. They were one of these. Was it
in Madison or something?
Yeah, she was. It was one of these things that hop onto float plane or whatever, and you may be picked out to win a PC. She came on. She had the career and the charisma to come on and do it, and she was beloved when she first came on. And then she got hired as a social media person because she's a young female that was just funny, and she knew how to come across to people of her generation.
Yeah.
The fact is, Linus Media Group is a company filled with people that have all been working together for years. The big wigs of the company are the people that have either come from NCXT or NCIX. That's the one. Not NCXT. That's like the coolers and stuff. Yes, there will be a gamer bro feeling in the office because it started out as a group of friends. And then they've been increasing and increasing and increasing. I can't say anything on the sexual harassment side of things. But
innocent until proven guilty. However, we're not saying that she is lying. It's just obviously there are processes that we're not part of, so we can't comment on that.
We are literally lobies in the stratosphere. But the thing is, she's just one person that's come out and said this. Now, I don't know about you, but when this sort of stuff happens with other people,
Normally
and
more
one
people
bad thing comes out, exactly, more and more people come out and start talking about it. I'm not going to just shut her down for it. It may have happened, and I'm sorry that it has happened to her. But at the same time, because there is bad publicity with Linus at the moment, and she's come out and she's saying these things, but no one else has said these things.
It seems like a very isolated incident. Which makes me wonder, was it one bad member of staff in LTT who's now gone? Have they followed the correct... Like, yes, she may have had a shit experience. Yeah, it should never have happened. But as long as it's an isolated incident, it's only happened to one person, that, to me, screams at either she's only telling us half a story, or more likely, she reported it and something was done about it, and no one else has had issues since, or either that, or they've made loads of people sign NDAs on everything that went on in LTT. But again, that's a conspiracy in a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. So it's a weird one.
I hate saying this. I really do, and it may be controversial. Please know that I respect anyone for beliefs, ideologies, whatever. But in this day and age, we are living in an age with woke culture that people will jump onto bandwagons with things. Now, I'm saying it now. I do not dismiss anyone's beliefs, ideas, identities, anything like that, or any allegations that they've thrown out, because it's not for me to say. But there is this woke culture in the world now that I'm trying to word this so fucking carefully.
Yeah, the minute you turned around and said this might be controversial, but woke culture, I was just like, oh fucking hell, here we go. Basically, I'm just going to say it for you because I know what you're trying to say. Was it actual sexual harassment, or is she just a fucking wet wipe who needs to get a grip? Is basically what you're trying to say. Like, as harsh as it is to say, there are people out there who a man waves at them and they scream sexual harassment. Now,
I'm just going to say,
I don't know much about it.
When she first got into Linus, she was just coming out of school.
She's
this
young.
Could have been her
not
first
life
job.
Experienced.
She may have worked a small job somewhere.
Yeah,
but she's gone from school or university or college or whatever to potentially doing a small job to going to a big company.
Shock there, yeah.
Exactly. She may not be used to the way that the workplace is, and I'm sorry, but the way that the gamer bro culture is, you're working in an industry that is highly gamer related. She may also be a gamer, but these people are friends. These people are like that. And that's how they've always been, from the day when they were all in a spare bedroom, all the way up to how they are now. And I think she has, not dismissing her statements or anything, but I think that she has come out of the woodwork at a time that Linus has got a bad rep to his name. She's saying it, but if that was the case, surely there would be more people that have left Linus Tech Tips or Linus Media Group.
But then again, there could be, and it could just have been swept under the rug. But Taran Tong, the CEO at the minute, has said that an outside investigator is getting involved and will be looking into the allegations and trying to find evidence of it. So hopefully it didn't happen and it's just a false allegation and no one's had to go through that. If
she's misconceived it.
Yeah, or if it has happened, I hope she gets the justice that she's owed. And I really, 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 really hope that if it is something happening, I hope whoever did it is fucking gone. Because if it has happened and it is someone who's still there and Linus has known because they've mentioned it in HR interviews because his wife's HR, if they've mentioned it in them and then she's gone and nothing's been done about it and this member of staff's still there, that could make or break whether I stay watching Linus.
I don't just coming in on that, I don't think that Linus's wife is now HR. I think she is actually moved over to the finance side of things.
Oh, she moved over now because she was HR, wasn't she?
She was HR for the longest time, but I think with the progression and the increase in work people in LMG, she is just the finance officer. She is not HR, but I may be wrong. But as Goody says, the main thing that Goody remembers from her thread is that the workload was immense, and when she tried to take it up with her supervisor, she said she got told to suck it up and not to be a troublemaker.
I mean, to be fair, I get it, because when I told my manager that I was struggling with my mental health because someone died at work, I was told that I should be used to seeing dead bodies by now. So I get it.
Goody's just said they have an external HR department, so it's
no
outsourced
now,
in-house.
Which I feel is a good thing to have, because when it's something like Linus's company and his wife, the wife of the owner of the company, is HR, that's got to be a terrifying thing to have to go to HR.
Oh yeah,
that's got to be fucking mortifying.
Of interest.
Oh, 100%.
Because this is the woman that he's married to, and they're married, and it's kind of like, oh, you've got an issue with my husband, I'll fuck you up, that kind of thing.
What if it's his wife? What if she's the one who's just like, oh, you hate Linus? What about me? You know what I mean? It could be.
The thing is, reading into what Goody has said, that the fact that her thread goes on about the workload was immense. She's someone that has only just really stepped into the working world, and the workload may be immense. But she's gone from being someone that created YouTube videos and being online to then working for the biggest tech review company on YouTube.
It's going to be a jump. There is going to
be a massive workload. They're not going to pay her to sit around and twiddle her thumbs and make coffee. She was there to do a job.
But I think this is the thing that a lot of people don't realise. It's like, even just like smaller channels like ours, when people sit there and look at us, it's like, and I say, I'm fucking knackered after a day stream. It's like, all you did was sit and play a game. It's like, yeah, but there's so much that goes on in the background. It's like doing these podcasts. What a lot of people don't realise is we spend 2 weeks combing through news and gathering info. We then get up early on a Sunday to get ready pre-podcast, go live, do this. And then my Sunday is literally sit down in an audio editor, cutting it down, getting rid of dead spots, getting rid of dirty audio, finding clips that can go in the normal bit, like the preview bit, pulling in the audio, editing it, like exporting it, uploading it, making thumbnails for it, uploading it to Spotify, uploading it to Apple, uploading it to Google. There's so much shit there. Whereas all you see from the outside is it's two dudes sitting and having a conversation for 2 hours.
You go live and you're recording it, and then you put it out. But there is a lot of stuff, more so for you. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Yorkie really does most of the, or if not all of the background stuff. I'm just here as a co-host. I'm just here as a talking person. But Yorkie does an awful lot behind the scenes. Yeah, well, the thing is, though, TikTok that I saw. There's a TikTok out there saying that streaming and doing this sort of stuff, content creation, is tiring because what you don't see behind the scenes is a lot more than just click it, getting everything sorted, click and go live, doing it, done.
Well, then it's a full-time job, really. To do 3 streams a week, 4 streams a week, it's a full-time job. And then when you're already working a full-time job on top of that, it is exhausting. But like where Sam says that he doesn't do much, no one jump on Sam for not pulling his weight. Basically, what happened is when we initially discussed the podcast, Sam had said repeatedly he always wanted to do a podcast, but he never had the facilities to do it. I had the facilities. I have all the tech. I have all the software. I have everything. I've got the know-how on audio editing to do it. And I said to him, well, why don't we do it? I don't mind doing it because my headspace, it was just after my grandma had died. My headspace was down the toilet. I was like, I needed something to pick me up to. So I latched onto this. I was like, well, fuck it, let's do it. I'll put all the work in. You just show up. We'll have a great time. And fair enough, for 4 of the podcasts, he didn't even turn up. But I was still having a great time. But we make it work. And yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Fair enough. But like going back to one topic, this is a thing, though, is a lot of people don't see that work that goes in. She probably was sat there going, oh, I'll make a couple of YouTube videos. It's like, then she goes to a tech conglomerate like this, with multiple buildings, multiple different departments, multiple channels and shit like that. And then she gets called, right, you're doing this, and this.
especially for a daily upload schedule, because that is a lot to ask for a small channel. For a big tech company like this, that is big. She probably was overwhelmed with it, and she probably did need to suck it up and get a grip. And
the thing is,
not nice, but
the thing is though, she's come out of school or college or whatever. If she's had a smaller job, it's not been that big of a job. She's then come, as you said, come to this massive tech conglomerate.
There you go.
Big company.
There you go.
And the workload probably was immense. But at the end of the day, that's what leads to that whole woke culture. Younger people that are coming into the working world want to get paid the big bucks
for doing nothing.
Fuck all.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that it is a big process. It's a long grind. There is a lot of work that goes into this sort of stuff. And the fact that they just want to get paid and go home and have done fuck all during their day, they need to get a grip. They need a reality check. And it may be the case that she had that idea that everything was just so streamlined and she could do whatever she does at the, or did at the company, and then she can go home for a day and get paid all this big money. But the workload is big because it's a massive company with a daily upload schedule on multiple different YouTube channels and streaming platforms and content creation platforms. I'm sorry, but if you can't handle the workload and you're complaining about the workload, a company
different job
has been doing perfectly fine up until you joined the company.
Yeah,
you're in the wrong fucking job. Go work at McDonald's for an 8-hour shift.
Mate,
see how you
McDonald's is fucking rough. I've never worked there, but I've heard about the shit that goes on there. McDonald's sounds harder than my job, and they get paid less than me. I'm never complaining about a McDonald's worker again, because them guys have it shit.
The thing is, you look at it, a McDonald's worker will go for 8 hours with their half-hour lunch break. For me, I work in IT. I could literally, if I was to work, I work hybrid working, so I get days off a week.
I'm the same, yeah.
I'm not required to do much work. I'm required to do a lot of work, but I can do whatever I want during that time. So I can watch Netflix TV shows. For fuck's sake, I've had Warcraft up on one of my monitors when I've been working from home last week, waiting for something to spawn.
Oh, the amount of times I've been the same when I've sat there and there's been no work because I've booted up my Xbox.
But then you compare my job, which I'm doing fuck all during the day. I'm doing my job. Yeah. I'm doing fuck all during the day.
And then you look at someone at McDonald's.
A big company or someone that works at McDonald's or in retail, they're doing a lot of work every day. And it's tiring. And if this Madison person can't hack it because the workload was immense and because she didn't realise that it was going to be so immense, she can't hack it. She should have just gone to another job. And if that's her basis behind it, you're literally just using the controversy and the issues and the problems that are currently in the media.
Regardless of drama and regardless of gripes, and if they have rubbed up the wrong way and if the workload wasn't that, if the sexual allegations are true, I do hope she gets justice. No one should have to go through that. And I do feel like I don't think it'd have been Linus, because I feel like if it had have been Linus, his missus would have killed him.
I think it would have been one of these interim smaller managers that they did start to get a social media group when she first started with the company. They did start to get a social media group and team going to post on Instagram, TikTok, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but it's a new company that has new ideas and it's a new process. And maybe it was a process that was broken. As we know from the other controversy, the process to get a video out and stuff out,
it didn't work,
is broken, and they are looking to change that.
But now, the fact that they've taken a step back, though, and they are actually addressing the fact that there are issues, they do need to relook at it and think what they're doing. It's a step in the right direction, and I'm hoping with these new directions they're going, I'm hoping it gets better. You okay?
Oh my god. I've just looked at Linus. They uploaded a video yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's the plan for the future.
Oh, they actually done it?
I haven't watched it yet. Yeah.
Well,
it's
what
literally
we'll do is
here's the plan. We've spent our week of introspection, asking hard questions of ourselves and each other, and we're ready to share what we've discovered. Now, I'm going to go away and watch this, and I'm just saying this now. I would love to put this on the docket for next time.
Week. Do like a quick fire.
Yeah, well, in 2 weeks' time. Put it in after watching all of these videos and see where it goes. And I'd love to talk about it.
I was thinking, because next proper podcast we're going to have a guest. Depending on schedules and if it works, we should have the lovely Skeptical Squirrel. But I am wanting to fit in between then and now. I don't know if you want to. I want to do a Gamescom specific pod.
Yeah.
So if we can find the time to get one of them in, we can do that.
I mean, with a Gamescom pod, we could do like this is episode 9, part 2.
Yeah.
And we I'm down to do that, because I'd love to touch on this again after finding out what they've come out and said and what they've found out within themselves. But also,
so we'll probably
Gamescom.
I'm free next weekend. Are you free next weekend?
Yeah, I'll be over at my partner's again, but I will make sure that I've
as long as you got your mic and stuff with you, that's fine. So we'll book in again for next week. We'll do like 3 in a row instead of just doing it every other week, just to get that extra Gamescom one. It gives us time, because obviously Gamescom's still been going on, hasn't it? Gives us time to catch up, look at what our favourite bits were. Like I said, we can both go away and look at the Linus Tech tips, addressing their rework of their structure of how they do the videos, and we can go from there with it, and it'll give us something to talk about. And then, like I said, the week after we'll revisit the news and we'll go back to normal style of doing stuff. Obviously, we did. It was when you were busy. I did the Summer Games Fest specific one as well, and that was a great one. That's the only time I think I'd ever be able to do a podcast single-handedly, because I managed to talk for 2 hours on my own. And fair enough, I had a breakdown about halfway through about fucking R2D2, but all in all, it went well. So it's promising, but I think that is our lot for today, Samuel.
Yes,
we are actually done, and I haven't lost my voice this time. But no, thank you everyone for being here and enjoying it. I have been Yorkshire Bother.
I have been Dark MCR.
And you're watching Disney Channel. But I made that joke so much, it's so shit. But until next time, everyone, thank you for tuning in. This has been episode 9 of Cheat Codes Aren't Cheating. Stay sassy, stay sexy, stay slutty, have something good to eat, have a laugh, have a cry, have a wank. And we will be back next week for a special Gamescom special of Cheat Codes Aren't Cheating, so we shall see you there. Until next time, everyone, toodaloo, au revoir, drop us follows, and a goodbye, everybody.